the storm, the end of the heat wave, the heat dome, which has been covering central France for perhaps 10, 12 days. From midnight last night, we heard the thunder, we saw the lightning, and then at about 2 o'clock, I was unable to sleep. I was actually working on ideas for the YouTube channel when the rain started. I have to admit, I went outside, I stood in the rain, and I felt those raindrops, and I was so thankful that finally, the oppression of the heat that we've had gone. I could breathe again. So here we are. I moved my pot plants to a different place about 2 weeks ago because it was very hot and I knew that I couldn't water them all the time. But wow, we must have had an inch of rain overnight. And I'm imagining it, but that rosemary plant there and the Russian sage, the perovskia that I've been getting up at 5:30 in the morning to water, just looks so happy, so green. It doesn't take very much, does it? It really doesn't, to make things feel better. So I thought I'd walk through the garden on the usual route, past my wonderful clary sage, which, again, it may be my imagination, but that little bit of lilac purple colour seems to be coming back a little bit this morning. I'm hoping we have a little more rain over the next few days, that things start to feel a little bit like a normal warm summer again, rather than the oppression and difficulty of actually living and going outside that we've had here, certainly since Tuesday this week. I accidentally left our hosepipe on, which is criminal activity, but where I did that for around half an hour, you can see the molehills. I've never seen such huge molehills. I'll show you the fountain first, then we'll go and have a look at the molehills. Even the honeysuckle at the bottom of the lime tree, which looked as though it had just had enough, leaves starting to shrivel, looks a lot better this morning. And the new cottage garden planting, which I've been watering first thing in the morning, looks happy. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but I do have this way of thinking, is a plant happy? It might be existing, but is it happy? And I guess that might be a metaphor for some of our life. We all have to do things we don't want to do. There are days, places, people that we have to work and interact with when we'd really rather not. But are we thriving? Are we feeling happy? And even if we can't change our employment conditions or we can't change the people that we interact with, can we do something to make ourselves feel happy where we do have a little control? Here we are, mega molehills. Totally mega molehills. I think you could say That's one creature that's thriving. My goodness, wow. I didn't forget to put the hose pipe on right over there. They're just happy with the rain. Until we moved here into this countryside, I really had never seen a mole. I knew nothing about them. I'd read The Wind in the Willows and been in a play based on The Wind in the Willows. But I have to say, I'd never seen a mole. And a visitor saw one of the molehills moving soon after we moved here and said, "Oh, it's moving! You can get him! You can get him! You can get him!" And I thought, no, I won't. Sometimes in August, when I know that the green of the grass is baked hard earth because the molehills have made it very difficult for the grass to regrow, they're usually fine by the end of the year. So we'll leave it there. There's some sort of metaphor there about a creature thriving. I have never ever seen such huge, huge molehills. Let's look at something beautiful. That jasmine climbed right up to the top of the trellis. Sometimes think of Robert Frost's poem when I stand here, The Road Less Travelled. There are various options for walking up the garden. Today I'm going past the Mahonia, past privets, which look so sad and drought focused earlier in the week. Suddenly, after one rain shower, looks so much better. Here's a tall grass, which looked as though we might lose it. And the olive tree next to it. Look at the olive tree. Had a dreadful winter, starting to recover over the summer, and then really struggled in the last couple of weeks. So let's look at the pool. Oh, hello, frog. The floating islands, the regeneration area of the swim pond. The bog filter just starting to work for the first time today to filter out and make the water clear. All working with solar power. And the clouds reflecting on the surface of the pool. Let's look to the horizon, hoping here for a cooler, equally bright week, but where the garden and people can thrive and not just survive. From